Now at 5:30, how dozens of people remember two men who were killed in a Pulaski County crash nearly a week ago.
Also on WKYT this morning, a Southern Kentucky family says one woman is lucky to be alive after a dangerous crash that went right inside her home.
And a Kentucky baby is the first to be born in the new year. We'll talk to the lucky parents.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning. So nice to have you along with us bright and early on this Friday as we get ready for January 2nd. We keep saying it, 2015, believe it or not. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Whitney Wetzel, the first Friday of 2015, so it's got to be a good one, right?
Well, we hope so. Weather, though, I don't know. We're tracking a little bit of everything on the way to the Commonwealth over the next couple of days.
Yeah, and this morning we're also tracking some flurries here in central Kentucky. Let's check in with WKYT meteorologist Jim Caldwell. Good morning, Jim.
And good morning to you, too. It is an active morning in some cases across parts of central Kentucky, at least with precipitation. We're tracking a little wintry mix, maybe a few flurries, maybe some sleet pellets, or maybe we're talking about a freezing drop of drizzle out there as well. We'll zoom in on it here for you and give you the track on what's happening up toward folks there in Owen County, Scott County getting in on the action. You go over toward Harrison County, you see a little shot of some of the wintry precipitation showing up as well. Later today, though, we'll likely be just be tracking rain. Here's your breakdown. Rain chances later, as I said. Then we go into the weekend. Anything you want. You want wind? You got it. Rain, snow, thunderstorms? It's all possible. I'll take a closer look at it coming up for you here in just a few minutes.
All right, see you then. Thank you.
This morning we're continuing to track a deadly crash out of Nicholasville.
It happened last night on US 27, and police say the driver of the car died instantly. WKYT's Mark Barber joining us live now with the details on this from Jessamine County. Mark, good morning.
Good morning, Bill and Whitney. Yeah, the coroner is saying that driver died instantly when his car slammed into the back of a tow truck that was actually carrying a forklift here on Nicholasville Road. Now, police say that this crash happened about 8 o'clock last night near Industry Parkway in Nicholasville, which is just south of Brannon Crossing. Now, we're told no one in the dump truck was hurt. The crash closed 3 lanes of US 27, and it took about 5.5 hours for crews to clear the wreck and reopen the road to drivers. Now, the coroner says he isn't identifying the man who was killed yet because he still has the difficult job about telling his family about what happened in this New Year's Day tragedy. Now, at this point, police are not saying who is at fault or if anyone is facing any charges, but they tell us they are still investigating. Live in Nicholasville, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Mark, thank you. A Kentucky student loses his battle with meningitis. Now crews are disinfecting Clark County High School just as a precaution. WKYT's Hillary Thornton joins us live on how that student will be remembered. Good morning, Hillary.
Good morning, Whitney and Bill. That's right. The Clark County community continues to mourn the loss of a 15-year-old student here at George Rogers Clark High School after he died from meningitis. Cole Hahn died on Tuesday. Visitation for the teen will be held tonight from 5 to 8 at Central Baptist Church in Winchester. His funeral is scheduled for tomorrow at 11, also at the church. Now, school officials say all buildings in the district are being cleaned and disinfected as a precaution, even though health officials told them this type of meningitis does not require that. Superintendent Paul Christie says Cole was a member of the soccer team and a straight-A student who touched a lot of lives while coming up through the school system.
And he was a beloved friend to many, not only students, but staff in our district. So it's a tragic loss for us.
Superintendent Christie says counselors will be on hand on Monday when classes resume if anybody should need them. Reporting live in Clark County, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
Hillary, thank you. In Somerset, family members of a 92-year-old woman say she's lucky to be alive after a truck crashed right into her house. Somerset police say Tony Lewis was speeding down Clifty Street when his truck ran off the road there, went airborne, and then crashed into Sarah Stegall's house. This happened yesterday morning. Stegall wasn't injured. Her family says she was on the opposite side of the house.
She thought that a storm had come through. She said the noise sounded like a tornado.
Police say the driver of the truck, Tony Lewis, was flown to UK hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. They do think that alcohol was involved and says Lewis does have a lengthy criminal record. The homeowners say they're not sure if the house can be repaired.
This morning, a Nelson County mother's blaming bullying for her child's death. She says her 12-year-old daughter took her own life. Reagan Carter's mother says the girl dealt with bullies both online and at her middle school. She says her daughter was not depressed, but the harassment was just too much for her. Her mother says Reagan overdosed on prescription cough medicine and died 2 days before Christmas. She says a group of girls at Bardstown Middle School harassed her daughter and bullied her online.
Don't think about the long-term consequences of what that's doing to another human being who has feelings and who has thoughts and who has a really big heart.
Reagan's mother says she does not think the school did enough to prevent the bullying. The Bardstown superintendent did not comment for our story. Bardstown police say they are investigating Reagan's death.
This morning, family members of a northern Kentucky boy say he died days after being diagnosed with the flu. 6-year-old Mikey Gaalba died December 20th at a hospital in Florence. An autopsy has been scheduled to determine an exact cause of death. Kentucky health leaders say 6 people have died of flu complications so far this season.
A grand jury has indicted 10 people on organized retail crime charges in Pulaski County. The suspects are owners and managers at convenience stores around the county. Investigators say they recruited shoplifters to bring in stolen items to resell. Searchers have recovered more victims from Air Asia Flight 8501 from the Java Sea, and that brings the count now to at least 16.
Investigators admit bad weather is making the effort difficult, though. CBS's Tara Mergener has more from Washington, D.C.
At least 7 more victims of Sunday's doomed Air Asia flight were pulled from the Java Sea early today. Indonesia's National Search and Rescue Agency says 6 were found by a U.S. Navy ship, leaving nearly 150 still missing. Indonesian investigators say they believe many may still be strapped in their seats in the plane's fuselage. Searchers also found more pieces of the plane. Several more ships and planes with metal detectors and sensitive listening equipment arrived. Crews will step up their efforts when weather allows. They're scouring an 8,300 square mile area. The Air Asia flight crashed into the Java Sea early Sunday with 162 people aboard. It was on a 2-hour flight from Surabaya, Indonesia to Singapore when it disappeared from radar almost halfway into the trip. The first identified victim of the crash, a 49-year-old woman, was quickly buried Thursday in keeping with Muslim tradition. Drizzle and light clouds cover the search area today, but high waves and strong winds are forecast through Sunday. Strong currents are moving the debris, making the search difficult. Investigators admit they're in a race against time. The longer the search takes, the more bodies will decompose and the farther debris will drift away. Tara Mergener for CBS News.
And the choppy seas are preventing divers from entering the water. So far, there have been no signs of the plane's flight data and cockpit voice recorders.
Former New York Governor Mario Cuomo has died. He served 3 terms in the state's highest office from 1983 until 1994. The Democrat also considered running for president twice. Cuomo was 82 years old. His son Andrew is New York's current governor.
There are a number of new laws that were enacted in states across the United States with the start of this new year. The price of eggs in the U.S. could rise thanks to a new law in California. Farmers are now required to give their egg-laying hens enough space to move around. Also, undocumented immigrants there will be able to get a driver's license. The minimum wage went up in 19 states, including some parts of Kentucky. In New York, selfies with lions, tigers, or other cats are now banned on social media sites.
A Laurel County mother has a new addition for the new year. Misty Hunter gave birth to the first baby of 2015 at St. Joseph London Hospital. Owen Anthony Scott was born around 8 yesterday morning. Both mother and father say they couldn't be happier.
I mean, I knew he would be a New Year's baby. I didn't expect him to be the first.
I think he's going to look more like me than his sister did. I'm excited about that.
Staff at the hospital there gave the family a wagon filled with goodies to celebrate the hospital's first birth of 2015.
All right.
Yeah, very cute.
Absolutely. It's good. Timely arrival, right?
Yeah.
5:39 on WKYT this morning. Let's see what's going on in live drive traffic as we take a check outside right now. And we'll look at a live camera for you in the downtown area. This, of course, is at Broadway and High, and no reports of any issues there.
And if you're traveling down North Upper Street today, the right lane will be closed off all day long. That is between 5th and 4th Streets. One lane of Avenue of Champions between South MLK Boulevard and South Limestone will also be closed today. Mintel Park between Richmond Road and Kramer Avenue will also be blocked for some repairs there. So some things going on, but looks pretty clear on that road there.
Mostly those are cut-through streets that you can probably get around.
Yeah,
so
avoid,
no
easy
big
to avoid.
issues, and a little bit of work going in there on campus before the students get back. Hey, it's good to have you along on WKYT this Friday morning. A lot more news coming right up in a moment.
Yeah, and still to come, a Boston Marathon victim celebrating a milestone at the start of this new year.
And we are tracking a little bit of light wintry precipitation out there this morning before we head into the wild weekend. I'll have the latest coming up.